Yeah, it works in the car for 3 seconds, all the credit on camera.
No, I finished this car.
Yeah, you built it.
From nothing.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
You built this one.
So according to Ghazi, what are you doing for these 3 seconds?
For these 3 seconds. Ghazi has done the bulk of the work, just so that everybody knows. We relocated this gearbox pump, which is a hydraulic method of just changing the gears. And we are a little bit concerned, or I am a little bit concerned on how exactly the air is supposed to get out of these pipes, because it's going from here, running slightly up over the loom, and then it goes down, and then it's sort of level with the pump. So if there was air in the line, how do we bleed it out? We have pressurized the top of the pump and then opened the little banjo bolts to get air out. But obviously, still not 100% sure we got all the air out. The shifts are working 95% there, but every now and then it just isn't doing exactly what we wanted to do. So the reason we have to finish the work on this car is obviously we want to get it onto the track so we can see the results of all Ghazi's hard work and Dawies' well-spent money. Like I always say, when the end of these projects come along, it's now the time for the tasting. You need to get it all done, served up in a way that's, it's going to go onto the track and nothing's going to fall off and everything works, which is actually like the most important part of any project, is finishing it off properly, and making sure. So the gear selection that works 95% there, it means there's a 5% on the table, and we want that to be working 100%. So yeah. This is Mansoor Parkers BMW car club race car. It's a car that's been a race car for a long time. It's been part of our workshop, coming and going. They do a lot of the smaller maintenance themselves. We actually built the engine for this car last year, and unfortunately it cracked the block. Obviously a lot of people told me exactly what I did wrong after I did it wrong. But yeah, these S54 engines don't have lots of meat between the cylinders. And, we are not looking for 1,000 horsepower. We just aiming at like 500 kilowatts. And the engine ran a little bit hot, and it cracked one of the sleeves, even though we only bored it 0.5 bigger than standard. But with this engine, I've learned my lesson, and we sleeved the engine down. So it's actually a millimeter smaller than what it was as an original S54. But there's much more meat now in the cylinder, which is quite common practice, turbocharging one of these and trying to make a lot of power. Still not really trying to make a lot of power, but we're looking for a good engine that Mansoor can enjoy for the next 5 years, as he's quite a soft driver on his engines. He's got quite a mechanical sympathy, so he can take a car far. I mean, the last race of last year, the clutch was slipping, and he finished the whole race and won overall with the clutch slipping, but he had that feeling of maintaining it. So anyway, the car also had the normal E46 problems with the rear subframe tearing out the car and actually taking the floor with it. So it's all been reinforced, all been neatened up. James resprayed the inside for us, sorted out the engine bay. And Monir got to put his newly built engine in the car. And probably in the next day or two, we'll fire it up, get it to the dyno and get it polished off, and it will go back to Mansoor. Okay, so we got this Nissan 350Z that's coming from a different workshop. It's got a supercharger on it, it's got a bit of shocks in it, it's got a max ECU in it. The max ECU that's actually in it's actually too small, so we can't control all the cams, which is annoying because obviously somebody fitted the wrong management, and for slightly more money they could have fitted the right one. The diff was loose, we mounted the diff properly. The prop shop was actually also coming undone, and we actually thought on the dyno the car had like flat spots on the wheels or something because it was making such a noise. And we pulled it off on the dyno and realized the diff was busy falling out. So yeah, we basically did a retune, did a bit of a bolt and nut check. Oh yeah, the fan was trapped between the catch tank and the radiator and actually cut a hole in the radiator, so we had to replace the radiator, a customer sourced one, got it in the car. So yeah, retuned it, got it all buttoned up, and tomorrow we'll just do a light test ride. The customer wants a nice tractor, and he's spoken about potentially selling the car or giving it to a business partner or whatever. He just wants to move on from it, to be honest. So yeah, that's where that is.
I mean, what is happening with that BMW out front with the body?
Yeah, that's the Leeds car.
Can we go see it?
Yeah, we can. To be honest, the Leeds, it's quite a funny relationship because I always take the piss with Matthew, which is the son, and he's got quite a love for Japanese cars and a look of Japanese sort of stuff. And I believe him and his brother brought this kit into the country, this body kit, and they really like the look of this thing. And I believe they actually made molds of it, so they're hoping to sell this body kit if anybody is interested in it. But yeah, it's actually their LeMons car, so it's built to do LeMons sort of racing. And we fitted a max ECU to it. The floor was very rusted, so the throttle pedal tore out the floor, so we put electronic throttle pedal in it with electronic throttle body. Yeah, I drove it last week Tuesday and it had severe oil dropout, so we fitted the Accu sump in the last week. That should maintain oil pressure so we can do some laps. We also replaced got a power flow exhaust pipe on it because the exhaust pipe was falling onto the ground. So yeah, that's what it is. So obviously sometimes you chase your tail a bit, so in this the boost was fine on the dyno, and then suddenly it lost all boost, so it looked like a boost pipe coming off, and we had a good look around and then stripped the whole thing, and the only thing we could see is the compressor housing on the turbo was slipping. So we thought the electronic actuator, when it moves is out of range, so we had that pinned and had the turbo checked out, put it back together, still no boost. And then as a bit of a Hail Mary, we just blocked off the standard dump valve, and yeah, it now makes a lot of boost, so it's going to have to go back to the dyno so we can set down the boost and give Dawie either the option to put an external dump valve on it, or we'll need to see what's wrong with this dump valve. But clearly the dump valve is messing around. It's quite a simple thing. It just has a spring and a little vacuum line to it, and blanking it off clearly gave the boost back. So that's that simple thing. Yeah.